Hello everybody, Anthony Gonzalez here with another weekly update. Busy week as usual in DC. A lot of action on the floor with respect to my legislative initiatives, which was nice. So we'll start with the End Child Exploitation Act. I introduced that bill, bipartisan, bicameral, which is always a great way to start. I would say if you start bipartisan, bicameral, you have a chance. If you start partisan, you probably don't. And so what this bill would do is it would extend the amount of time that technology companies can hold on to child exploitation images before they get deleted. The reason why that's important is because there is so much bad content on the internet today. There are so many children being exploited online that law enforcement doesn't have time to get to all those. So right now, the companies hold those images for 90 days, and after the 90th day, they just delete them. And so there are people trafficking these images that never get investigated, never get caught, never get discovered. And so what my bill would do is it would increase that time from 90 to 180 days, just so that you give law enforcement more time to get to all the images. We had a roundtable with law enforcement and some technology providers this week, and that was their number one issue. They said, look, we just do not have enough time to get through all the content. There's so much bad content on the web, which is horrifying. And so this bill, very simply, would just extend that time period, give law enforcement more opportunities to go after the criminals who are some of the most disgusting human beings alive. And so just really excited that we have bipartisan, bicameral support for that. So we'll keep you updated there. Secondly, we voted on the NDAA this week, which is the National Defense Authorization Act. We vote on that every single year to authorize the different defense programs. A while back, if you remember, we passed SASTA out of the House. That was my bill. SASTA is a part of the NDAA. So SASTA, which is my bill, will ultimately become the law of the land when the Senate votes on the NDAA last week. That'll be the first bill of mine that becomes law. We've had 3 pass the House now, but that's the first one that'll become law, which is really exciting. And what SASTA does is it protects our research institutions at the university level, but also our national research centers from foreign espionage and foreign influence. So right now what's happening is Chinese nationals are studying at our universities, they're studying at our research centers on federal taxpayer dollars. The Chinese government then comes in, plucks them out of the US, brings them back to China, pays them a whole bunch of money, and transfers all the research. So they're literally just going into our research institutions and stealing it directly from us. I think that's crazy. I think most people think that's crazy. We research and we do great work in this country, and that's how we always stay at the cutting edge, and we shouldn't allow anybody to take it from us. And so this bill would fight back on that. And again, this will become law. We passed it out of the House a couple months back. It's in the NDAA, so that's great. And then finally, on the House floor, we voted on my deepfake bill, and that passed unanimously. So the deepfake bill, if remember we talked about Forrest Gump. So if you remember Forrest Gump, in that movie, Forrest Gump was placed in different things that he wasn't in. He was placed in Vietnam, he was placed in conversations with JFK, different presidents, what have you. Those are deep fakes. They look real. If you didn't know any better, you'd think they were real. Intelligence has been clear that, again, China, Russia, Iran are going to be using these deep fake technologies to basically just sow discord in the country, just to confuse us, make us think things are happening that aren't happening around the world, domestically, whatever it is. And what my bill would do is it would instruct our research enterprises, the National Science Foundation and NIST, to learn about how to identify deepfakes and develop standards. And so, again, that's bipartisan, passed unanimously. Every single member in the House voted for it. And so that was exciting. So we'll keep working on that. But otherwise, we're continuing to put bills forward, trying to get things not only through the House, but signed into law. As I said, first one will happen next week when the Senate votes on the NDAA, which is really exciting. So as always, thank you for allowing me to be your representative, and I hope everybody has a great weekend.